I was asked to write poems by two people. One is nature and my surroundings and experience. Wherever I travel, wherever I get experience, I make my travelogue in poetry. Second one was when the first thing what I do is I send to one of our groups. We have a group called the Shiksha Planner. One of the most or best contributor in that is Anusha. So she started demanding writing poems to me, and she said you must write 100 poems because she wanted to make a book out of it. So the whole effort of making into a book, putting them into sequence, giving nice pictures and all that is Anusha's task. So the book is made by my student Anusha. I request Ratan to share up. Connect. Alaima. Anusha, use the camera. Then you come here, please. There has to be somebody ready. Use the camera, come here. Don't do this. I think Anusha should give it to them. They can give it to So we have a guest here. All of you know her? She was not there when I went to her institute to teach. I was there in your institute, which I had two relationships with the institute where she studied. One is the whole building is constructed by PNC Banner, Shobha Developers, and I was a consultant to PNC Banner. Second one, the whole track is made by ULCC, and I am a consultant for ULCC even now. So these two reasons made me to reach that place, and I gave one full day class for them how to control the stress and how to know a lot of things were taught. We had a lot of activities around, like a workshop I was there. She's a full-time dedicated student there. And I keep seeing your seniors in different schools, because most of them go from different schools to NASA school. There are some people. So many places when I go, I meet the seniors. But this first time we met, I met her. Last time also during our camp, our children went to her house. Bapatan is responsible for all that. So responsible for bringing her here. I think you Bapatan should give a gift to book to her. My photo. Amma. And Chandra. Kanatun का मतलब सुनी पिक अप then bag but you can give receive it. No, it's poetry. Second one was when the first thing what I do is I send to one of our groups, which we have a group called the Shiksha Planner. One of the most or best contributor in that is Anusha. So she started demanding writing poems to me, and she said you must write 100 poems because she wanted to make a book out of it. So the whole effort of making into a book, putting them into sequence, giving nice pictures and all that is Anusha's task. So the book is made by my student Anusha. I request Etan to Kanar. Alayma. Anusha, leave the camera. And then you come here, please. There has to be somebody here. The camera come here. No, do this. I think Anusha should give it to them. So they can give it to So we have a guest here. All of you know her? Eh? She was not there when I went to her institute to teach. I was there in your institute, which I had two relationships with the institute where she studied. One is the whole building is constructed by PNC Banner, Shobha Developers, and I was a consultant to PNC Banner. Second one, the whole track is made by ULCC, and I am a consultant for ULCC even now. So these two reasons made me to reach that place. And I gave one full day class for them, how to control the stress and how to, lot of things were taught. And we had a lot of activities around, like a workshop I was there. She's a full-time dedicated student there. And I keep seeing your seniors in different schools, because most of them go from different schools to NASA school. There are some people. So many places when I go, I meet the seniors. But this first time we met, I met her. Last time also during our camp, our children went to her house. Papatan is responsible for all that. So Papatan should go forward. Papatan is responsible for bringing her here. I think give Papatan should give a gift to book to her. Come on. And Chandra. Jadaj. Sunny, pick up. There bag. But we can give. Receive it. Noise.
Then 2-3 days back, Shashi asked me to release the book and give a short review. I told him that I'm not the apt person to do it because of two things. One is that I'm not a good appraiser of poetry. Secondly, whatever I say will be shadowed by my love and affection for my brother. So I will not find fault with any of the lyrics written here. I cannot do it. So I will say only that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions. That is pervading in all the poems. Poems are usually three types. One is narrative poetry. Narrative poetry deals with stories, incidents. Usually what Mahabharata, for example. That's a narrative poetry. It narrates incidents, stories like that. Another is dramatic poetry. Dramatic poetry, the best example is that of Shakespeare. It's a drama, but written in poetic words. Another is, the third one is lyrics. Lyrics is actually the emotions felt by the person. Expression of emotions. So I would actually call this lyrics. 100 lyrics. All of the 100 pieces are experiences, emotions felt by the author. And I have gone through a few of them. And mostly you find there are reminiscences of his childhood. The kerosene lamp is a reminiscence of the boyhood reading in the kerosene light. Suddenly there is tube light, allegory for brightness in life. In times of darkness, the poet remembers and seeks out the kerosene lamp, his childhood. He goes back to his childhood. So that is depicted in that poet, kerosene lamp. Thought haunts his recollection of the unforgettable tragedy that shook our family. The lone survivor of the mishap rewinds the gruesome moments through which the young child had passed through. Am I correct? Anusha?
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
We in the family were all at the abyss of sorrow and despair and couldn't perhaps soothe the young mind. So each one had that sadness, agony, pain. So each one was in his own world, in her own world. So we couldn't understand the fathomness of the loneliness that the young boy felt. So that is reflected in the painful words. Everybody is living in dark room. I never thought of next day. Darkness filled the home. Puja room lit by the oil lamp. From the darkness embracing the childhood, arose a dedicated spirit full of love of learning. And that transformation is pictured in lyric number 18, My Old Age at Jnana. There are reflections of travel, not only in Scotland and England, but also in far off Fiji and our own Rajasthan and Northeast. The varied emotions that fill the mind is depicted in these poems. The peaceful, tranquil days at Jnanam is all pervading in almost all the poems. The inherent theme that runs through all the poems is love, affection, devotion, and hope. Even in the midst of darkness, there is always that bright light. The undiluted devotion of a disciple to a guru is etched in these words. I throb for your touch. I live on your dream. My hands on your feet. My heart beats just for you. I listen only your voice. I see only your profile. That is complete dedication of a disciple towards a guru. Shashi had a guru and he completely surrenders himself to that guru. That is well pictured in that poem. Likewise, you can see the relationship is not one way. The disciple towards the Guru. It is the Guru showing respect, admiration, love, affection to the disciple also. That is also in the poem. So it is a two-way. Likewise, you can see how the author treats a student who grew up under his tutelage to attain prestigious laurels in the best technological institution of the world, MIT, Anusha. I will. When she got a number of awards, so she was telling about the Washington Award, then there was the Lincoln Award, then Muhammad Yunus Award, all those awards.
The best student award, no?
Yeah.
Excellence.
Excellence. Yes. And when so many people complimented her on getting these laurels, we have to see how the student responded to this. Without you, nothing would have been possible without your support and teachings. You made me what I am today, Chachu. Even in MIT, everyone knows you and acknowledges it. The fact that you got to know first about these awards and medals before me is testimony of it. I wish you were here with me today. I wish you had accompanied me in the place of a parent today for the dinner. Okay. Every minute that I spent with you has shaped my career and made it possible to attain this. Thanks to you for teaching me every subject here. At the 10% that I got is because of everything that you taught me. I am excited to participate in both the coming camps. I surrender all these awards and medals to you. All these are yours. That is how a dedicated student treats her Guru for his good. And what does the Guru say? You made me as I am today. I wanted you to grow high, chase dreams alongside, a parental feel in mentoring, not a proud professor ever. So, there was a time when the relationship between Guru and a student or a disciple were of this type. Now we don't have that. Unless that intimate relationship is there, it is very difficult to grow up. So it is, in the modern times, it is impossible. I won't say that such a relationship would exist everywhere, but if possible, there is a question, somebody, I don't know, asked, how can you find out a good Guru? Actually, the Guru answered, the Guru will find out a good disciple. So it's such a relationship. You need not travel to in search of a good Guru. The Guru will find out the apt disciple. So I have not gone through all the. I will have to speak a lot about this, but it is suffice to say that all these poems are dipped in the blood of his heart. So emotions, even if it may not have all the symptoms of a old type of poetry, rhythm, rhyme, metaphor, simile, you may not, by just cutting it, opening it, and having an operation, you may not find such things. But as I said initially, the A good poetry is when it comes from the heart, spontaneous overflow of feelings, and written in tranquility. If you go to the structure of a poetry and try to correct it, it will lose this emotional part. Then it doesn't become a poetry. I must compliment Anusha. I'm not complimenting my brother. He's part of, you are also part of us. That doesn't mean that you are alien to us. So thank you all for giving us the opportunity to read, to digest these poems. Thank you.
Can I say a few words, please? Very good evening to all dear and near ones.
Good evening, sir.
It's really a pleasure and a privilege of mine to be here today. Even though I've been knowing all the activities of my little brother Shashi all these years, I was not able to come here often and participate in the real training programs and other activities. The great Nobel laureate Albert Einstein told, education is not the just learning of the facts, it is a training of the mind to think. In that context, Shashi has been doing a great job thinking about the younger generation, how they can be trained other than the arts and our syllabus methods. This is a non-formal training actually. But what will come out of this training is something great. It's a training how to live, how to be a real social member in our population, our great nation. So I take this opportunity to congratulate Shashi Kumar, your guru, for all the best deeds, and also expecting more and more to come, and wish you all good luck and a bright future. Thank you.
Good evening, one and all. I have actually enjoyed a lot editing this book, Rhythm of Life. So even the very title of the book, he always says that his interesting subject or his favorite subject, whenever somebody asks, it's life. So even when he was writing the poems, when I wanted to compose it into a book or put it onto a blog, we had to have a title. So for that, I thought it should be something related to life, and what best it could be rather than Rhythm of Life, because all his poems, if you actually read them, though those are rhythmic flow of words actually, and these poems are like, as Uncle said, the poems are divided into narrative and even the ones which are like emotional. So these poems have a knowledge aspect to it. Like there are poems wherein he wrote poems during Jayalalitha's death, Abdul Kalam's death. So all those poems, if you read, you will get to know that you don't know most of the facts about these people. Even these facts were not published in newspapers, but he knew all these. And in the same way, like there are many other poems, like one on Ireland, one on England, and where all he had traveled. All those, the poetry on all those are like, it's like all the general knowledge which you ought to know about those particular incidents or those particular cities are put together in a poetry. So I actually really enjoyed a lot editing this poem. So whenever I used to give a tag, and immediately he used to make a poem and then send it to me, and I used to enjoy editing it, then putting it onto the blog, and then picking up the right pictures and all. It's like I don't have an experience of editing a book, but then with his help I learned even editing a book, and this gave me a lot of experience. Thank you, Jachu. Thank you for everything.
കേശവട്ട
നമ്മളുടെ സ്ഥിരത്തെ മെമ്പർ എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. Nothing to say. Our Guru has come. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Gurudeva Maheshwara. Guru Sakshat Parabrahma.
രണ്ട് പ്രോഗ്രാം ആയിരുന്നു കേശവട്ടനും ശ്രീധരനും റിലേറ്റഡ് ആവുന്നത്. ഒന്ന് ജയരാജ് വള്ളൂര് എന്നൊരു കൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾ പഠിച്ചാണ് BSc പത്രത്തിൽ നന്നായിട്ട് കാത്തു.
Another was so just give one copy to you. I have very few well-wishers of mine probably who are in contact with me or touch with me. One is Keshwatan, who was never my teacher in classrooms. He was a teacher in Naduvil High School for long years, but unfortunately I never had an opportunity to sit in his class. Probably I never had a dialogue with him until he retired or until I retired. Maybe 2009, after that when I came back to hometown, probably we met and started discussing. But he makes it a point whenever there is a camp, he will be here for a little while, at least to engage us.
ഈ മനോഹര സായന്തനത്തില് നിങ്ങളോടൊപ്പം സ്വല്പനേരം ഇരിക്കാനും ആശയങ്ങൾ പങ്കിടാനും സാധിക്കുന്നതിൽ ഞാനേറെ സന്തോഷിക്കുന്നു. ഈ പ്രസ്ഥാനം നടുവിൽ എന്ന നമ്മുടെ ഈ കൊച്ചു ഗ്രാമത്തിൽ തുടങ്ങിയത് മുതൽ ഒരു 2 or 3 പ്രാവശ്യം ഒരു ക്യാമ്പിൽ ഞാനിവിടെ വരും. എന്നോട് ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കാൻ പറയാത്ത കാര്യവും ഞാൻ പറയും. കുട്ടികൾക്ക് അത് ദുർഗ്രഹമായിരിക്കില്ല, അവർക്ക് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ട അവരുടെ ഭാഷയിൽ ഞാൻ പറയും. അതൊരു സന്തോഷമാണ്. ഇവിടെ ഇന്ന് 2-3 പരിപാടികളുണ്ടായി. ഒരു പുസ്തക പ്രകാശനം, മറ്റൊന്ന് TPSന്റെ അടുത്ത സുഹൃത്ത് വെള്ളൂർ ജയരാജ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ അറിയപ്പെടുന്ന കാർട്ടൂണിസ്റ്റ്, അദ്ദേഹത്തെ ആദരിക്കൽ, അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ഒരു ബഹുമാനാർത്ഥം കൂടിയാണ് ഈ മീറ്റിംഗ് നടത്തുന്നത്. കാർട്ടൂൺ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാം, ഒരു വര കൊണ്ട് ഒരു വലിയ ആശയപ്രപഞ്ചത്തെ മുമ്പിലേക്ക് അനാവരണം ചെയ്തു തരുന്ന ഒരു പ്രക്രിയയാണ് കാർട്ടൂൺ. വർഷകാലത്ത് ഒരു പുൽക്കൊടിത്തുമ്പത്തെ മഞ്ഞുതുള്ളിയിൽ, മഞ്ഞുകാലത്ത് പ്രഭാതത്തിലെ ഒരു പുൽക്കൊടിത്തുമ്പത്തെ മഞ്ഞുതുള്ളിയിൽ, തുഷാര ബിന്ദുവിൽ, ആ ഇഷ്ടാവട്ടത്തിലുള്ള ഒരു ആ പരിസരം മുഴുവൻ നിഴലിക്കുന്നത് പോലെ ഒരു വരയിൽ, ഒരു കുറിയിൽ ഒരു വലിയ ആശയപ്രപഞ്ചത്തെ നിഗൂഹനം ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കഴിവാണ് ഒരു കാർട്ടൂണിന്റെ കഴിവ്. അത് കണ്ടാൽ നിങ്ങൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസം കണ്ടിരിക്കും, ഗോപികൃഷ്ണന്റെ കാർട്ടൂൺ മാതൃഭൂമിയുടെ ഫ്രണ്ടിൽ ഏറ്റവും മുമ്പിൽ നമ്മുടെ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയുടെ വാ തുറന്നിരിക്കുന്നു. പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയുടെ വാ തുറന്നിരിക്കുന്നു. അതിനകത്ത് രാഹുൽ ഗാന്ധിയുടെ കുഞ്ഞു രൂപം അമർന്നിരിക്കുന്നതായിട്ട്. ആ ഒരു ചെറിയ കാർട്ടൂൺ കൊണ്ട് ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ, ആരും ഇത് പ്രത്യേകം അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ട് പറയേണ്ടതായിട്ടില്ല. വിനോ എവരിതിങ്. അത് വളരെ വേഗം നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിലേക്ക് ഓടിയെത്താൻ സഹായിക്കുന്ന ഒരു മീഡിയ ആണ് കാർട്ടൂൺ. വളരെ പെട്ടെന്ന് കാർട്ടൂണിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഓർമ്മിക്കുമ്പം ഞാൻ ശങ്കേഴ്സ് വീക്ക്ലി ഓർമ്മിക്കാം. കാർട്ടൂണിസ്റ്റ് ശങ്കറിന്റെ അതിമനോഹരമായ കൃതികൾ, അത് സീരീസായി പുസ്തകങ്ങളായി വന്നത് ഓർമ്മിക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളെല്ലാ ദിവസവും പത്രം വായിക്കും. എല്ലാ പത്രങ്ങളിലും ഒരു ചെറിയ അംശമെങ്കിലും ഈ കാർട്ടൂണിന് വേണ്ടി ചെലവാക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിൽ അവഗാഹം നേടുകയും അത് പ്രചരിപ്പിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന നമ്മുടെ ബഹുമാനായ സുഹൃത്തിനെ ഒന്നുകൂടി ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ സ്വന്തം പേരിലും അഭിനന്ദിക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും നന്മ നേരുന്നു. ഒരു പുതിയ വർഷം 2018 വരുന്നു. 2018 എല്ലാ നന്മകളും ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്ന് പ്രത്യാശിക്കുന്നു. നമസ്കാരം.
And when I came to Kerala, there was a day I was planning to run back from Kerala back to Hyderabad. And that's the time when Sridharan called me, and then I was supposed to take the train. I dropped the train, came back to Bayan. And then I joined with a program which he suggested. So whenever there is somebody who guides you, somebody who pulls you back, I think if that call was not there, that project was not there, I would not have been here, because I would have gone back to Hyderabad. So there is some reason for somebody. So having this institute, or maybe the institutional activity which I am having, there are many role players. One of the latest role player would have been Sridhar. He is a manager, very senior manager in Corporation Bank. We don't speak that often, but whenever we speak, it is as if yesterday we met. That's how we contact.
Yes, good evening, friends.
Good evening, sir.
So I think this method visit Nanam. I think last time we met at 5 AM. Earlier also I came here and I was with you all for an hour or so. Today also I felt that my presence should be there. And Shashi's colleagues and little people are all here to share some of the thoughts. But unfortunately I was late, so I could not attend the earlier proceedings. Anyway, I don't have much things to say now. Today is Christmas, and within a couple of days we are going to a new year. So let this camp be a lighting for your new year vows and pledges, and let this new year give you a lot of beautiful thoughts which you can disseminate to the country and to build up a nation which we all envisage in the coming future. Nothing more to say, friends, and I have not gone through the book, so I know many of the contents Shashi used to share in between, and I know many of you people giving the replies to Shashi's postings and a lot of other things. So Shashi and myself was closely associated, as he told right from that day. We were closely associated with many other activities related to education and culture. Like that, whenever I require some assistance in this type of activities, I used to contact Shashi and fall back on Shashi, and we were all associated just like Sridhar was my guru in Payyanur College. Later we were all associated with one foundation in Payyanur, giving this type of insights to the coming generation. And I'm happy that I can be here again and again for next camps and other things. I feel spending more time with you freely when your camp other activities starts in Delhi, because this week probably I will be on leave, so I may come some other day to spend more time with you. And by next January I'm coming out of my bank and I am a freelancer afterwards. I am attaining 60 and I am retiring by January 31st. So before that, before coming to bank I was a teacher, so that instinct for teaching or good words from Shashi and others, I decided myself to commit this type of courses or activities throughout the district, because my working area is very limited, so I would like to confine to this area only. So I'd like to be associated with some such activities in future in Payyanur, and I hope that we all work together for a common cause. Thank you. Happy New Year. Same to Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Saji, you're also one common factor. He used to be one of our guest speaker on most of the camps.
Only on few occasions.
Yeah, but few occasions.
I'm not well today, that's why I didn't come today morning. I think all the best to all of you. I think probably next time we'll
He's my nephew. He's a surgeon. ENT.
I'm a cancer surgeon actually. I was an ENT surgeon. Now I'm a cancer surgeon.
Cancer only about organ. Suni, Babu, Ram sir. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Yashwata. Ram sir. Thank you. You know her? Just now parana.
ഒളിമ്പിക്സിന് പോയത് ബ്രസീലിൽ പോയത് എങ്ങനെ
നിങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കുന്നത് ഉത്തരം പറയാം. ചോദിക്കാനുണ്ടോ? You want to ask something?
She won in Olympics.
400 and 400, 4x400 relay.
This year?
This year, current year.
Are you
Brazil
interested
or-
in that? Yeah.
World Athletics Meet London and Brazil.
You can introduce me.
Yeah.
Introduction.
My name is Indusna Matthew.
മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ദം ആർ ഇവരൊക്കെ ഹൈദരാബാദിൽ നിന്നാണ്. അയാൾ US നിന്നാണ്. ഇവർ ഹൈദരാബാദിൽ നിന്നാണ്. ഒരാൾ അരുണാചൽ പ്രദേശിൽ നിന്നാണ്. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരൊക്കെ ഇവിടെ ഉള്ളതാണ്. പെട്ടെന്ന് ഇൻട്രോഡ്യൂസ്
പറഞ്ഞോ. She is Disna Matthew at the age of 18. She is studying first BC Economics, first BA Economics. She represented India in last Olympics in Brazil, Rio Olympics. Afterwards, London World Meet, 4x400 relay race. Formerly was training in 100, 200, 400. Now changed into 400 and 400 relay. Now she is not top. I'm the third in India.
Second in India.
Second. Next Olympics is in Japan, Tokyo.
She will become the first.
His coach is PT Usha, former Olympian.
PT Usha has got a training institute in Calicut district. Usha is the neighboring district. Usha's school of athletics. And she is how many kilometers away from here? 2.5. Which stage this?
That hill only.
That hill. The next neighboring hill is her house. Like,
All the best. Thank you. All the best.
അല്ല, അനുഭവം പോയ അനുഭവങ്ങൾ പറയാം. ബ്രസീലിൽ ഇവിടെ പോയി. അല്ല, നിങ്ങളുടെ ട്രെയിനിങ് സിസ്റ്റം എങ്ങനെ എത്ര മണിക്ക് എഴുന്നേക്കണം? 6 to 9 practice session, evening 3 to 7.
The last ministry, sports minister, also visited Usha's place, and that is where the synthetic, inauguration, and he was the person who funded both projects. Beautiful building, beautiful campus, nice on top of the hill. But ഇയാളുടെ ഒരു സിനിമയിൽ പറയാറില്ല എന്ത് ചുരാന്ന് താമരശ്ശേരി ചുരത്തിന്റെ ഇപ്പുറത്തെ സൈഡ് I had the opportunity to go and teach in the institute at least once. Did two work there. Is that still? Yeah.
To look up.
So when are you joining which department? You'll get a job fast.
After 3 years.
After 3 years only. Yeah, after graduation. So most of the athletes or sports people, they get into government job. And we have great people from Kannur. Indian Airlines, the sports director is from Kannur. He's a PhD in sports management. Ramesh Nagar. He was in the same college, Painter College. It was very close to Kalmadi. And that's how most of the train stops in Kannavaram. Yeah. Jimmy George was again
From Kannur.
So we'll have another great personality, right? But thank you for coming. You have your father is there? Achha, where is that? So he is the owner of that product. See, I'll tell you, rarely he gets an opportunity to get his daughter. He needs permission from Usha to see her. പക്ഷെ വിടുവോ അങ്ങനെ വിടില്ല 2 വർഷമായി വീട്ടിൽ വന്നിട്ട് and 2 years after she is visiting her father, and that too just for this with the strict instructions, don't go to any programs outside. And because of Papatan's influence, she is here. Otherwise, she will never go to any other place. Will not eat anywhere because instructions are given. Don't eat this, don't eat
What
that,
to eat and what not to
eat, what not to eat, how much what is to be done.
How much calorie you have
Strict
to
instructions.
How much calorie you have to intake?
It's not that easy.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
This is the discipline. This is the
I have
type of
gone to that
discipline.
institute. After that, I went to many other schools for teaching. People used to come and tell me that I was your student at TP tuition. I said, why are you here? Very difficult to sustain them. Because there are 20 people, all of them are good athletes. If one of them go to one of those schools, no, they will become the best there. So in the school level, district level, and all, if they get some award, they are happy. But here, she is looking for a world international, right? So they are trained for becoming the best in the world. They are not able to sustain them, so they run away from them. Wherever I go, I will see 1 or 2 people coming and telling me that I am a student. It's all done free. It's a trust which is funded. ULCC, Uralangal Labour Contractor, which stars all the places, they fund a lot. So thank you.
Oh, yes, bye.
Yeah, come on, all of you. We'll have a picture. Come, fast. Run fast. Come.
Yeah, get him.